So good day everyone. Today we are going to present about Peabody Individual Achievement Test. So before discussing the Peabody, let me inform you about the topics covered. Name of scale, here it was developed. Author, the construct it's intended to measure. The potential test takers. Settings where it is more likely to be used. Administration, scoring, interpretation, reliability, validity, utility, norming, and standardization. So proceeding to the description of the scale. It is individually administered by a trained examiner with assessment complete in the following content areas: general information, reading recognition, reading comprehension, mathematics, and spelling. The subtests and composite scores are calculated immediately with derived scores indicating grade level equivalence and percentile ranking. The test is in oral in format and most conversational in tone, and it is strived to keep the test experience in casual and non-intimidating for the child. It takes 60 to 90 minutes to administer the test, but the exam is not timed. Also, the Peabody can be administered year-round and will assess K to 12 grade level students. And additionally, the test is non-bracketed. That means a child can write to his or her ability level rather than being confined to questions at their chronological grade level. Then each child is assessed using the material appropriate to age and level of accomplishment, working toward higher material until he or she answers incorrectly for 5 out of 7 consecutive items. This stopping point establishes the learning threshold, and errors in the critical range are subtracted from the peak score.
So the Peabody Individual Achievement Test was developed on the year 1998 based on the 1998 results.
Now let's move forward to the proponent of this intelligence test. So Frederick C. Mardward is the proponent of the Peabody Individual Achievement Test. So he received his PhD in educational psychology from the University of Minnesota. While at St. Cloud State University in St. Cloud, Minnesota, Dr. Martward spent 8 years teaching counseling, statistics, and measurement, while also providing individual assessments of elementary age students for educational planning and placements. Dr. Mardward went on to serve on the Executive Council of the Minnesota Psychological Association and the Minnesota State Board of Examiners of Psychologists. He was associated with the St. Paul consulting firm and specializing in assessment, while pursuing his consulting services on educational research and test development.
The construct it's intended to measure. The Peabody Individual Achievement Test is a reading recognition subtest, which is one of the 5 in the Peabody Individual Achievement Test series. It measures word recognition and pronunciation ability, essential components of reading achievement. It was said by Don and Marquardt in 1970 that the general objective of the reading recognition subtest is to measure skills in translating sequences of printed alphabetic symbols which form words into speech sounds that can be understood by others as words. This subtest might also be viewed as an oral reading test. While it is recognized that reading aloud is only one aspect of general reading ability, it is a skill useful throughout life in a wide range of everyday situations in or out of school. Who are the potential test takers? In 1994 through 2014, the reading comprehension assessment was administered to all children below young adult age whose age was 5 years and over and who has scored at least 19 on the reading recognition assessment. While from 1986 through 1992, the reading comprehension was actually administered to all children who scored 15 or higher on reading recognition. This lowered threshold was used to maximize our ability to score the reading comprehension assessment for those cases where interviewers made minor addition errors in totaling the reading recognition tests, computing actual scores of 19 or more as only being 15 through 18. Setting where it is more likely to be used. Unfortunately, there was no specific settings that was mentioned in the articles that I have read, but it was mentioned that the environment where this test should be administered is where the child should feel comfortable, and also an environment where they can express themselves. It should also be quiet so that they won't be distracted. And since the potential test takers are children from 5 and above, it is highly suggested that this test should be taken in a school, or also it can be taken in the library or at home.
So, hi, good day. I am Leila Buluran and I am going to discuss the administration, scoring, and interpretation of the Peabody Individual Achievement Test. So, how this test administered? So, first, it is one-on-one setting. So, yung examinee, nakaupo siya across the examiner, ganun. And next, it is individually administered by a trained examiner. So, yung mga trained examiners na successfully completed na yung assessment in the following areas like general information, reading recognition, and reading comprehension, mathematics, and such. Yun, yung mga, sila yung mga pwedeng mag-administer ng test kasi nga, yun, mga trained na sila. Next, it takes 60 to 90 minutes lang. So, this test, ayun nga, 60 to 90 minutes lang siya ina-administer, but, wala siyang oras. Kumbaga, on-time siya, pero hindi unlimited yung time. Gets po ba? So, nabasa ko rin na, each item sa mga subtest, approximately 15 seconds lang siya sinasagot. So, yun nga, yung test na to, ina-administer siya in order of general information, reading recognition, and reading comprehension. So, first sa general information, it has 100 open-ended questions. Tapos, ina-assess nito yung science, social studies, fine arts, humanities, and recreation. For example, yung question sa science na, what is the chemical formula of water? Or di kaya name the color of ganito, name of the color of ganyan. So, dito sa test na to, ay sa subtest na to, kailangan ng administrator kasi babasahin niya yung each item, then sasagutin yun ng test taker. So, next, is the reading recognition. Ito, meron siyang 100 items din. So, divided to into two parts. First part, 1 to 16, dun yung pre-reading activities and naka-multiple choice format siya. So, tapos, sa second part, siya, 17 to 100 items. Siya, subject reads, allowed single represented words. So, next is the reading comprehension. Ito, meron lang siyang 82 items. And, meron din siyang 2 plates. So, the first plate, magbabasa ng tahimik yung test taker. And, sa second plate naman, doon, mamili yung test taker sa 4 na pictures kung ano doon yung pinaka nagre-represent or nagsisymbolize sa meaning ng sentence na binasa niya. Ganon. So, sa naman, sa mathematics, meron siyang 100 multiple choice items. Tapos, ina-assess nun yung student knowledge and application of math concept and facts. Tapos, sa spelling naman, meron ding 100 items ranging in difficulty from kindergarten to high school. Tapos, multiple choice din siya following verbal presentation. And last, yung written expression, nag-split siya into 2 levels. So, yung level 1, ina-assess niya yung pre-writing skills. And yung level 2, it requires story writing following a picture prompt. So, dito, yung reading comprehension test, hindi siya pwede matik ng examiner if yung raw score niya sa reading recognition is 18 or less. Kasi, yun nga, hindi siya pwedeng mag-proceed sa pagtitake ng reading comprehension kasi ang reading comprehension it starts at 19. Ayun. So all items in every subtest placed in order of difficulty based on grade level. So from kindergarten to grade 12 siya. So next is the scoring of the Peabody individual achievement test. So first is the types of scores reported. So the test raw scores can be calculated into grade and age equivalents, grade and age based standard scores, percentile ranks, normal curve, equivalence, and stanines. So yun po. And next is the starting points, basal and ceiling levels. So the tester's grade level determines the starting point. Nag-i-start sila sa first subtest by simplified finding their grade. So to find the starting point of the next subtest, kukunin mo na yung raw score from the previous subtest. So if the subtest is omitted, the raw score on the subtest before the one that was omitted determines the starting point. So the basal is the 5 highest correct consecutive answers. And in the ceiling is when the subject makes 5 errors in 7 consecutive items. So in standard error of measurement and confidence levels, the standard error of measurement mean of the total test raw score is 5.8. This is the 68% confidence level. At the 95% confidence level naman, the SEM is 11.368. And at the 99% confidence level, the SEM is 14.964. So, dito kailangan muna ma-establish yung basal and ceiling levels bago ma-determine yung raw score. So after ma-establish yung basal and ceiling levels para ma-determine yung raw score ng subtest, ibabawas muna yung errors between the basal and ceiling item. So after nun, i-input siya into the assist computer software if available para makuha yung standard score based on age and grade. So to make it clear, wala siyang exact interpretation. Sabi kasi hindi naman daw nga siya diagnostic test and dinesigned lang siya para gamitin as screening tool. So yung test score or yung result, yung evaluator yung magde-decide if need ng test taker ng special education instructors or child therapist na major sa children na may mental health and learning disabilities. Tas makakatulong din daw yung score na makukuha para makapag-plan ng action to help the children na ma-level up yung kanilang academic performance.
Test reliability. The test reliability of Peabody Individual Achievement Test using split half reliability calculated using raw score on even items and raw score on odd items. The coefficient by grade range from 0.95 to 0.98 and coefficient by age range from 0.93 to 0.99. The test has reliability. To obtain this data, they randomly select 50 subjects in kindergarten, 2nd, 4th, 6th, 8th, and 10th grade. These subjects were tested twice with a 2 or 4 week interval. The coefficient ranged from 0.84 to 0.96 by grade. The coefficient by age ranged from 0.90 to 0.96. Test-retest reliability coefficient from the Peabody Individual Achievement Test ranged from a low of 0.42 to a high of 0.94, with an overall median reliability of coefficient of 0.78. The validity of the test. The validity of the Peabody Individual Achievement Test, content validity, the information from the Cruder, Richardson, and split half reliability help make this cause of content validity. The Peabody Individual Achievement Tests revised also went into details of how they tested validity in every subtest. They went into great research to make sure every subtest had content that accurately measured what is said it would measure. The construct validity of the Peabody Individual Achievement Test was proven in several ways. The first of these is developmental change. Test scores are expected to increase with the age and grade, and the raw score means of this test increase with the grade level and age level. The second way of this test to prove its construct validity was through a correlational test with other tests. The correlation of PIAT to the PVVTR was 0.72 for total mean of correlation. They also correlated the PVTR with the original PIAT. The correlation for these two for grade and age ranged from 0.83 to 0.97. Factor analysis was way another they proved its validity. The intercorrelation between relationship among the tests range from 0.61 to 0.95 among grade. The intercorrelation among tests of age range from 0.66 to 0.96.
The Peabody Individual Achievement Test is an individual test of academic progress. It has many advantages that encourage many people to use it. Firstly, the PIAT gives a consistent measure of achievement. The test standardization allows it to be fair to all participants. A standardized test ensures that all students are accurately assessed and their strengths and weaknesses are identified without any bias. Furthermore, the tests convincingly demonstrate the progression of knowledge as one advances through their grades. It is also useful for identifying individual strengths and weaknesses. The test is especially useful for special education instructors and child therapists that work with children with mental and learning disabilities. They can use the scores to set a plan of action to bring such students up to grade level performance. So with that, many different people can use them. Like for example, clinical psychologists, counselors, learning specialists, and others can use this to identify learning disabilities. The information gathered from the test can also be used by the respondents' teachers to separate children based on their strengths and talents. From an early age, more brilliant kids in certain areas can be trained to specialize in their area of expertise. The test is very easy and straightforward, and many finds it very easy to use. The cost of the materials to administer and prepare for the Peabody Individual Achievement Tests are very expensive. According to the Pearson Education website, a complete kit that includes 50 individual test records is $475. The instruction manual used by the administrator is $135. So these fees make it costly for schools on a tight budget to make the test readily available for students at all grades. It also makes it difficult for parents who want to get their child tested independently. This test or method may be very suitable for teaching and testing, however, the cost is too big. The Peabody is a standardized norm reference achievement test. So a norm reference assessment is a type of standardized test that compares students' performance to one another. It reports whether test takers perform better or worse than a hypothetical average student, which is determined by comparing scores against the performance result of a statistically selected group of test takers, typically of the same age or grade level, who have already taken the exam. So the Peabody Individual Achievement Test is individually administered by a trained examiner with assessment completed in the following content areas like general information, reading recognition, reading comprehension, mathematics, and spelling. The sub-test and composite scores are calculated immediately with derived scores indicating grade level, equivalence, and percentile ranking. It takes 60 to 90 minutes to administer the test, but the exam is not timed.
Now finally, let's move forward to the standardization. The Peabody Individual Achievement Test is a criterion-based survey of an individual's scholastic attainment. It can be administered to individuals between the age range of 5 to 22 years old and returns in a grade range between kindergarten and grade 12 senior high school. The test is available in English and Spanish language. Now, the Peabody Individual Achievement Test can be used as a wide-range screening measure of academic achievement for children in kindergarten through grade 12. It can also be useful for identifying individual strengths and weaknesses needed in their academic responsibilities. Finally, standardized tests are designed to show a student's skills and abilities at a given point in his or her schooling in relation to other children of the same age in school across the state and her nation.
And that's for our report, the Peabody Individual Achievement Test. And these are the reporters: Mr. Balbino, Miss Baranda, Miss Buluran, Miss Iraula, and Miss Humamoy. Thank you.